Alright, I am B Rose, and welcome to Truth Talk. Today I wanted to talk about occult objects, things that you might have in your home and you don't realize are rooted in the occult. And these are things that you'll want to get out of your home as quickly as possible. You may not realize, but these objects have deities attached to them. And when you bring them in your home, it gives them grounds to be allowed into your space, into your house. And once they're in, they just cause chaos. They can wreak havoc on all kinds of parts of your life. Some examples of this might be, are you always hurting yourself when you're in your house? Are you always bumping into things or falling or cutting your fingers or anything like that? Are you ever losing things? Do you always lose your phone or your keys or things that aren't normally lost, like a book or something you're working on, and it's like things disappear and you can't find them? Or do you have a lot of bad dreams? Can you not sleep at night? Do you feel like something's watching you? Do you feel like you're being attacked in your sleep? These are all things that happen when there are occult objects in your house without you realizing. This is what happens when there are demons in your household without you knowing. Because this is the physical realm, and they reside in the spiritual realm, and we cannot see them, but it doesn't mean that they're not there. So, I wanted to establish that and then go over these occult objects so that you know what to get rid of and what you don't want in your house to keep you and your family safe. Okay, so first up, we're going to talk about anything to do with death. This includes skulls or sugar skulls, any Day of the Dead decor or Halloween decor, anything like that you don't want in your home. It doesn't matter how pretty or fancy it is, like in this photo. It doesn't matter if the skull is decked out in diamonds or flowers or whatever. It is still a skull. And these things are rooted in occultism. You don't want this in your home because we don't worship death. Things like this bring in the spirit of death, which is not something you want around. So if you have something like this in your house, if you have decor like this, get it out. Okay, next on the list is something pretty obvious, and that is anything to do with witchcraft. That includes books, spell books, anything used to conjure or summon spirits, things like crystals or crystal balls, any movies about witchcraft, anything like this you don't want in your home for obvious reasons. Witchcraft is occultic, witchcraft is satanic. Having things like this in your home opens the doorway for demons to come in. Not to mention, reading things like this opens you up for all kinds of spiritual attacks, spiritual possession, anything like that. So I think we all know that witchcraft is occultic, and you should not have this type of stuff in your home. Don't decorate with it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it for your kids. Don't have it as a joke. Just get this out of your house. Because having things like this is not a joke. Witchcraft is very real. It's not a movie. It's not Harry Potter. Witchcraft is satanic. And having stuff like this around will bring demons into your life. Alright, next is going to be anything to do with astrology. Horoscope books, zodiac signs, anything like that. It doesn't matter what it's on. It doesn't matter if you have it on a tapestry or a poster or you've got your sign on a t-shirt, get rid of it. You don't want this in your home. Astrology is a type of witchcraft. It is satanic. And once again, it's not a joke. A lot of people joke around about this stuff saying, oh, it's not real. It's just for fun. We're just joking around and it's all pretend. But it's not pretend. This is very real. Astrology is real. The stars are real. And so this type of stuff is real. But we don't want to worship the stars. And we don't want to fall into this witchcraft illusion that stars have all the answers and that our personality came from stars. You know, we weren't created by stars, we were created by God. So you don't want to fall into this astrology trap. And if you have anything like this in your home, just get it out. And by get it out, I mean throw it in the garbage or burn it. Don't give this stuff away to thrift shops or secondhand stores or your neighbor or your family. Don't let this stuff fall into the hands of more people who can be hurt by it. There's a reason that in the Bible they burned idols. It was to completely get rid of them, which is exactly what you want to do with this type of stuff. You want to get rid of it. So if you have anything like this, once again, it would be in your best interest to throw it in the dumpster. Alright, so next is false idol statues and anything to do with false religions. So in the picture here we have a Buddhist statue. You don't want anything like this in your home. Any sort of decor or statues of false religions, especially if you're a Christian, this is not who you worship and you do not want it in your home. I don't know why people think that this is okay. These false religions are nothing but lies, which means this decor is nothing but lies. So once again, statues like this, Buddhist statues, Shiva statues, whatever you can think of in the way of false religions, you don't want in your home. They have deities attached to them. Everything to do with false religions does. So throw this away. Doesn't matter if it makes your side table look prettier or your kitchen countertop. Get it out of your house. Okay, next up is tapestries. And I don't care what your tapestry looks like. If it looks like this, where it's got suns and moons on it, or if it's got a mandala on it, or if it's got a horoscope sign on it, get rid of these. Don't use them as decor. Don't let your kids use them as decor. These are rooted in false religions, false Hindu religions. A lot of these tapestries have very satanic prints on them, just like this one is an example of the black sun. Trust me when I say you don't want these things in your house, so get them out. Alright, dream catchers. So obviously these are from Native American tribes who used to make them, and they were, ironically, to catch bad dreams. The problem is that Native Americans worshipped lots of different gods. They definitely did not worship the God of the Bible. And so once again, we have another object that is rooted in false religions and occultic practices. So, putting this above your bed, putting this in your car, putting this wherever in your house as decor will not get rid of your bad dreams. In fact, it will do the opposite. Because once again, occult objects will allow demons into your home, into your life, to wreak havoc all over the place. And I can personally testify to these dream catchers because I had one as a child, and I used to have bad dreams every night. I hated going to bed. And when I was old enough, I learned about these things, and I took down the dream catcher and threw it away, and I stopped having bad dreams. So, you don't want these in your home. Throw them away. Next is anything to do with Freemasonry, whether that's books or guides or rings, any type of memorabilia, throw it away. Freemasonry is a cult. It is rooted in the occult, and they practice Satanism. So, you don't want anything in your house to do with Freemasonry. Something you get might not be yours directly. It could be a parent or grandparents that they give to you, but please don't keep these items because they are nostalgic or a keepsake. They will do you more harm than good, so you're better off getting rid of them. Alright, next on the list is horror movies or horror books, anything along those lines. Hollywood directors and elites know what they're doing with these movies. They know how to attach entities to these things, and they do it on purpose. There's a reason that when you watch horror movies and you come home or you watch them in your house and later you feel uneasy, you feel like you're being watched, you feel paranoid. There's a reason for that. It's not just because the movie is creepy. It is because there are things attached to these movies. There are entities attached to them. And when you watch this in your house, or really anywhere, they attach themselves to you. So, horror movies are not for fun. They are dangerous. You don't want them in your home. You definitely don't want to watch them. So, throw these out. And to anyone who has a hard time with this, I understand. I used to love watching horror movies. It was the only movie genre that could keep me entertained. But it's not worth it. It's not worth opening that door and allowing demons into your life. Okay, New Age books and yoga books. You don't want to have these. I talk about this a little bit in my previous videos about elite symbolism, but yoga has to do with the Kundalini spirit, which is a false spiritual awakening. That is why people always talk about opening their third eye. They're opening themselves up to demonic possession. If you want to know more about that, you can go watch those other videos I've done. But books like this are satanic, and you don't want to have them. So, similar to the last one, we have books about false religions. So, like the Book of Mormon, or the book in this picture is about the Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism. You don't want to have these books in your home because they are satanic and they allow entities into your home that try to pull you into believing these lies, which is all these books are, is lies and deceit. So if you have these books, throw them away, burn them, get rid of them. Okay, this next one might be kind of hard for some people to hear, but you want to get rid of any games like this. This example is Dungeons and Dragons, but these games are rooted in occultism and magic and witchcraft, which is not something you want to be a part of. They may seem harmless and fun, and on the surface they look that way, but once again, these games are just doorways to deeper witchcraft and Satanism. So you don't want to have these games in your house. You don't want to let your kids play these games. I know that that's hard, but these games are nothing to joke around with. So toss them out. Okay, this is another game, And I just wanted to give you a couple examples of these types of games, because it's not all games. It's not like you need to throw out Candyland. It is these types of games that are rooted in witchcraft. So this is Magic the Gathering. And there's a reason that you see people who are so obsessed with games like this. And it's so hard for them to let go of it. It is because there are things at work in the spiritual world that we can't see. You know, we are in the physical world, and demons are in the spiritual world, and they attack us without us being able to see it. And that's what games like this do. They draw you in and throw witchcraft in your face without you even realizing it. So you want to stay away from these satanic games. Alright, so lastly we have Pokemon. This is a game/show that has been popular for a while now. It was popular back in the 90s and has resurfaced several times as being popular. And there is a reason for that. It is because this game is also occultic. And once again, I know how hard that is to believe when you just look at these things on the surface, but you have to go deeper than that. I mean, look at these characters, just the ones on the cards I've pulled up. There's dragons and lightnings and fire and all kinds of symbolism that I talk about in some of my last videos. But this game is demonic. You don't want to play this game. You don't want to let your kids play this. Don't bring these things into your house. Don't bring these cards in. And I know that it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no to a kid. It's hard to say no when you've collected these since you were a kid. But once again, it's just not worth it. This is a kid's game for a reason. This opens up a doorway to so much more witchcraft and occultism, and they try to pull kids into it. They don't show mercy for kids. So it's in your best interest to just stay away from this stuff. You know, don't bring this game into your home, these cards. Don't watch this show. You know, magic is witchcraft. Magic is not Disney. It's not a fairy tale land. Magic is very real, and it is witchcraft, which is Satanism. So do not involve yourself with these things, and do not keep these things in your home. Okay, next up we have records, specifically vinyl records. I know this has kind of made a comeback in the last 5 years, 10 years. People collect these and listen to them. But just like the movies, music producers know how to attach entities to these albums. You know, Hollywood is satanic. The music industry is satanic. If you do research, you'll figure that out. Or you can go watch some of my elite symbolism videos. But they attach things to these records, especially the ones that are rock and roll and rap music and stuff like that. And so you don't want to keep these in your house, and you definitely don't want to listen to them. They backmask a lot of them. There's a lot of occultic things that go on in the music industry, and they come out in the music that is produced. So I know this is kind of a fad for certain people, but throw these out. Okay, next is anything to do with psychics or mediums or telepathy. You don't want any books like this in your home, or movies, or tarot cards, or crystal balls, or anything along those lines. You do not want this in your home. Once again, it is occultic, and there are spiritual ties on things like this. People who use these things, people who use tarot cards, mediums, they don't really talk to dead people. They talk to the entities and spirits that were attached to the person while they were alive. Mediums talk to demons, and that is how they are able to get the information that is spot on that they can tell you. So you don't want anything like this in your home, and you don't want to go and talk to anyone who does this line of work. Alright, lastly, get rid of any satanic clothing that you have. Anything like this. I'm sure that this one is pretty obvious, but I have seen this become a fad in recent years, and this isn't funny. This isn't a joke. Everybody wants to make things like this into some big joke, and it's just not. You don't want to wear this, and you don't want to have it in your closet, in your house. This is representing witchcraft and demons and the occult and everything else. And people tend to think it is just funny. It's just supposed to be lighthearted and funny. But this picture has a kid laying in a pentagram with other kids around him doing a seance. So don't wear this. If you have anything like that, just throw it away and don't look back. Alright, that is all the occult objects I'm going to talk about today. I might make a second video on this later, but I just wanted to go over some of the main objects that I have seen recently. I have seen in stores and things popping up, and I don't want people to fall into this and have these things in their home, because it does allow spiritual entities into your home. And I want to warn people against that so that they don't have to go through those things. So if you have any of these items in your home, it is in your best interest to throw them out. I don't care how special they are or how sentimental they are. Just get rid of them, because it's really not worth it. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the content. Today is a great day because I got a new microphone, so hopefully the audio quality has gotten better. But anyways, thank you again, and I hope you all have a great day.